话故事中的王子大概是这样子的：长相俊俏，风流倜傥，像我一样。当王子遇到困难时，就会变得特别勇敢，从不落下一滴男儿泪。而童话故事中的公主，大概是这样子的：长相甜美，心性单纯，遇到问题就束手无策。直到那位帅气的白马王子前来相救，是吗？是这样吗？如果有一天公主不再甜美了，那王子依然会出现吗？
接下来是由陈星带来的短讲 A comparison of marriage goddesses in Greek and Chinese mythologies.
How many of you have the shoes from Nike? Actually, Nike is the goddess of victory in the Greek mythology. As you can see, mythologies are so commonly seen that most of us can't ignore them. So what's the connection between mythologies and ancient people's lives? I want to find out the connection, so I picked two goddesses, Hera and Nuwa, to analyze the roles of ancient women. They represent women in ancient Greek and Chinese culture. First, let's take a look at Hera. I think a lot of you have read the novel series Percy Jackson, right? Then you must know the goddess Hera. Hera is the wife of Zeus, the king of gods, and Zeus was also her brother. The marriage between siblings was very common in ancient Greece and is a part of their culture. Hera is famous for her jealousy. Let me tell you a story to show how jealous she was. Once, there was a beautiful princess named Io. She was also a priestess of Hera. One day, Zeus saw her and fell madly in love with her. Unfortunately, Hera learned about this relationship. Zeus was afraid of Hera, so he turned Io into a white heifer, like this. But Hera still knew about his plan. So she asked Zeus to give her the heifer. Zeus had no excuse to refuse her. After that, Hera tied Io to an olive tree in the temple of Hera. She also sent a dog with 100 eyes to be her guard. Zeus tried to help Io to escape from Greece, and eventually Io went to Egypt to give birth to her son. Another instance is the tale of Hercules. Hercules is the son of Zeus and a mortal woman. Because of this, Hera was very angry with him, so she cast a spell on Hercules to make him so mad that he killed his own wife. After Hercules woke up, he was very upset and turned to Apollo, the god of sun, for help. The god suggested him to do 12 things to punish himself. So he went on a journey to do the 12 labors. During his journey, Hera sent monsters to try to kill him. We can see another aspect of Hera in the tale of Medea. Medea is a woman who killed a king under Hera's plan. Why did Hera want to kill the king? It is because the king mistreated a woman who turned to Hera for help. Later, Medea begged Hera to protect her two children. Hera refused her, and the two children were killed by some residents. This showed the uncertainty of Hera and symbolized the dangerous process of giving birth, which was believed controlled by Hera. Next, let's take a look at Nuwa. Nuwa used soil to make human. She also set up the system of marriage. But before heading to her stories, let's take a look at this. The red veil was used to cover the bride's head during wedding ceremonies. But do you know it has a strong relationship with Nuwa? According to the tale, Nuwa and her brother Fuxi were the only two human beings on Earth. Fuxi said, if the frog on the Kunlun mountain get big, it means that gods wanted them to get married and have children. And the frog got big, so they became couple. When they mated, Nuwa was very embarrassed, so she grabbed a fan made by grass to hide her face. This fan turned into the red veil we see nowadays. This is another marriage between siblings, but after that, Chinese people didn't think it is moral anymore. Another famous tale of Nuwa is patching the hole of the sky. One day, the fire god and the water god had a fierce fight, and the water god was defeated. He was very angry, so he hit a mountain with his head. Because of this, the pillar of sky collapsed, and there were fire and flood everywhere. To save people, Nuwa used colorful rocks to patch the sky. This showed the mercy of Nuwa toward human beings. In the tale of Io and Hercules, we can see that Hera would get even on someone if they get too close to Zeus. And in the tale of Medea, we can see the uncertainty of Hera. On the other hand, Nuwa is the mother of all human beings. She loved everyone since they're all her offsprings. And if we take a deeper look at the two goddesses, you may see that both of them symbolize virginity. Hera is famous for her virginity before the marriage, and in the tale that Nuwa used soil to make human, she actually gave birth to children without man's help. This is a kind of virgin birth and was honored by Chinese people. And since traditions related to ancient people's daily life, what's the traditions related to Hera and Nuwa? One of the traditions related to Hera is the competition called Hiraya. Hiraya is like the Olympics for women. At that time, women were not allowed to involve in this kind of game. Once, Hera brought peace back to 2 Greek states with 16 women. Because of this, the Greeks held the game. And the traditions related to Nuwa is the red veil, which I've mentioned. So, are all ancient Greek women aggressive and jealous like Hera? The answer is no. But what's the common traits of Hera and ancient Greek women? We can find out the answer in the statement made by Demodestus, a great Greek statement. This is what he said. In it, we can see that men could fall in love with many women just like Zeus, but women need to take care of their houses. And Hera undoubtedly is the most determined guardian of her family. So the dramatic tales actually shows the conservativeness of ancient Greek women. And in ancient China, women need to follow their fathers, husbands, and sons. We can see this kind of family relationship in the tale of Fuxi and Nuwa. Fuxi decided everything they should do in the process. But in other tales, we can see a higher position of women. This shows the matrilineal society in the earlier period of time. People believed that women can bear children without men's help. In conclusion, women in ancient Greece and China were both conservative. But in the tale of Nuwa, we can see the autonomy of women. And the contribution of Nuwa is the system of marriage and the process of giving birth. And the contributions of Hera is focused on the life of wives and husbands and the uncertainty of giving birth. And the characteristics of the two goddesses were different too. Hera revealed the true life of ancient Greek women, and Nuwa is a grand goddess who was different from ordinary people. In short, it is the culture and the way they build goddesses that make Hera and Nuwa different. Thank you.